Hey guys, this is for the voice acting subreddit. My name is Noshir. Um, I'm an actor and I work a decent amount in video game and animation. So uh, I happened across the voice acting subreddit and saw a lot of really driven, wonderful folks trying to make it in the industry, and some folks offering advice and whatnot, all of which is great. However, I keep seeing this thing popping up, and it really bothers me. So I just wanted to bring it up. And this is all just my opinion from my limited, not so smart perspective. I've consistently seen folks trying to guide beginners with things like, deliver this faster, a higher pitch may be better, or a lower pitch, or you're a little nasal, or this or that. Nice accent, whatever. None of that matters. Like, none of that matters. This subreddit is called voice acting for a reason. This is acting. If you can do a cool dialect, or you have a 12-octave range or whatever, I don't give a shit if at the end of the day I am not compelled by your character. I need to feel that your character's need is real, that their stakes are real, and that what they have to say and what they need from the player, which is usually what it is in games, is important. Because that makes me, as the player, important. It means that what I do matters, right? And that makes the player feel good, and it compels the player to fulfill whatever the objective is. On camera, I can maybe give a relatively flat delivery, and a facial tick, or the way I'm sitting, or the way I shift my weight can kind of tell you a lot about how I feel, even if it's not carried in my voice. In voiceover, we don't have that luxury. Everything has to come through with the voice. So I would ask that the beginners out there who are trying to get their start, put your focus on the craft of building your characters. Who is your character? Why are they there? Who are they speaking to? What is your relationship to who you're speaking to? Any single person that you bring up in any of your scripts, who are they in relation to you, and how do you feel about them? What is it you need, and why do you need it? And how do you see the world, and how do you fit within the world of the game? So, like, you can create a character. Let's say he's a scientist, and he's the lab assistant, right? I'm just pulling this out of my butt. But okay, so you got a lab assistant, and a lot of people, from what I've seen on the subreddit, would immediately go to, okay, so he's a scientist. We'll make him nerdy, and I'll put his voice somewhere up here, and you know, I'll give him like a some sort of stutter, and good to go. I've got lab assistant. Okay, but maybe it's worth asking, well, who is he, and who's his boss? Who does he answer to? Is he ambitious? Maybe he wants to be the guy that runs the show. Also, do I need to play to the stereotype of the lab assistant? Maybe, in fact, he's a very careful, methodical, and ambitious individual, which makes him dangerous because he's willing to step over people to get what he wants, right? Now you've got a character who could be interesting, because now when I deliver my dialogue, I can also think about it, even if it's not in the lines, about like, okay, well, as this character, what can I get from you, right? From the player. How can I use them to get me further up to where I want to be? And that kind of stuff, even if it's just turning in the background, will come through in your voice. And all of a sudden you've got a character who isn't just reading what's on the page, who has a life beyond what's on the page. So that even if they're saying something nice, the player might be like, what's with this dude? Like, I don't get a good vibe from this guy, you know? That kind of stuff brings life. And that's what we see all the time. In the real world, everyone has motives, and a lot of times those motives don't actually match up to what they say. So, I'm going to stop rambling here. I hope this is helpful. If you've gotten caught up in tone, cadence, rhythm, speed, dialects, all that other stuff, but you haven't actually gotten really proficient at crafting your character, now is a great time to drop all of that stuff, which is really the icing on the cake, and bake your freaking cake. Put the work into that. And that way, any dialect stuff you do, anything you want to do vocally as a technique becomes an added bonus rather than the skeleton that your character is hung on. Because as a skeleton, that's pretty shallow. All right, I'm going to shut up. I have a lot more I want to say, but maybe I'll throw it into a different video. Take care, everybody. And you guys are doing great, that you're on the subreddit and are working to better yourselves. You're already doing more than a lot of folks. So keep at it. You're going to be great.